Hey guys, welcome to another KeyForge video, and in this video we will be looking at KeyForge laws. And this is a trait that 4 different cards have in Winds of Exchange. One is a reprint and the rest are brand new. And I look forward to showing you guys these, and without further ado, let's get right into it. To start it off, we have General Order 24. This is a Star Alliance artifact that reads, at the start of each player's turn, they must choose a creature they control and destroy each creature of the chosen creature's house. If that player has no creatures in play, destroy General Order 24 instead. This is a very interesting card that if you play it, you'll be in for a treat of a game, because this is a very interesting card, because I have not seen this card before, but apparently it has been in the game, and I guess I just never opened it. But it's an interesting card, and it would go for some pretty interesting plays, because your opponent can board wipe and you can board wipe. So there's some benefits to it if your opponent has a lot of creatures, but if you have a lot of creatures that you don't want to get rid of, this isn't going to be the right card. So make sure you play this one right. Moving on to the next law, election. It reads, each creature gains after reap. Put a yay or nay counter on election. If election has 6 yay counters on it, destroy it and destroy each creature. If election has 6 nay counters on it, destroy each artifact. This card looks super fun to play with, especially since it's one of the only cards that is technically an artifact wipe. And I think that'll be super cool to play with, and it will be interesting though to see if your opponent wants to put counters on your card or not. So you both have to play around this card, and I really enjoy those kind of cards, so I think this will be a fun card to play with, and it won't have too much negatives to it. I think mainly this will just be a fun, balanced card. But I do think it has some negative effects, because if you don't want any sort of wipe, then it's not going to be very helpful. Overall, I think this is a great card, except you're definitely going to have to know how to play it, because you have to know when to play it and when your opponent's going to want it and not want it, because you need to make sure that there's no artifacts or creatures that you would want out there before you just go ahead and play this card. And you're also going to want to make sure your opponent has a deck that you're going to want this card on. Like if they have some cool artifacts or whatever in the deck, then this can be really helpful. Moving on, we have another Saurian law, and I don't know if I'm going to pronounce this right, but Edict of Neurotaurus. And it's another artifact that reads, after a creature reaps, the next time a creature is used that turn, it cannot reap. After a creature fights, the next time a creature is used that turn, it cannot fight. This is another super fun card that I will be looking forward to using. However, once again, you're going to need to know how to play it, because you don't want a bunch of creatures out there. And this is because it's going to make for a pretty slow game if you can only fight and reap once per turn. But it doesn't say anything about action abilities. So if you have cards out there with action abilities, you can still use those. So overall, I think this will be a really cool card, especially if you can get some cool action cards in your deck and then pull off some pretty cool combos with all these actions and stuff, while your opponent can't do anything about it unless if they have something to get rid of your artifact. Moving on to a Sanctum artifact, we have Heavy Subsidies, and I think I'm reading that right, but keys cost +6. Each creature gains after reap, gain 1 ember. And this is a cool card because it's pretty balanced, and it's another one of those where it's just kind of going to make the game go longer, but it will still be fun to play. Especially if you have some good cards with after reap abilities, or if you have some sort of card that can double your Ember after a little bit. That could be really cool if you could get a bunch of Ember and then somehow get rid of this artifact, so that then you have a bunch of Ember and the keys will go down by 6, reduced back to 6 Ember. Alrighty guys, that is it for all the laws in KeyForge, and I think that this is pretty cool, and I like all these laws, and they'll be pretty interesting to try and play around. And the card of the day is going to be this last one that we talked about, and this is because I really like how self-explanatory it is, and like I said before, I think it would be kind of cool if you could pull off some sort of combo where you could get a bunch of Ember with the after reap effect that every creature gains, and then destroy the artifact to just have a bunch of Ember when keys cost only 6 Ember. And I'm sure there is more combos with this card, but if you can find any, just let me know in the comments so that I know. And that's going to be it for this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know which one's your favorite down in the comments, which law, and I think that this is pretty neat how they included laws in KeyForge, and I really like this trait because it's pretty cool and it's something that's added to the rules that's not actually always going to be in the rulebook. So that's going to be it. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.